नमस्ते, मेरा नाम सौरभ द्विवेदी है। आप लल्लनटॉप देख रहे हैं। देश में इस वक्त लॉकडाउन की स्थिति है जो 18 मई से काफी रियायतों के साथ ही सही लेकिन अपने चौथे स्टेज में दाखिल होगा। इस वक्त जो दो बड़े मसले हैं, हेल्थ और इकोनॉमिक स्लोडाउन के अलावा, वो ये हैं कि जो विदेश में भारतीय फंसे हैं उन्हें कैसे वापस सुरक्षित देश लाया जाए, और जो देश के अंदर अलग अलग प्रदेशों में मजदूर हैं, गरीब तबके के लोग हैं या स्टूडेंट्स हैं, कैसे वो सही सलामत अपने घर पहुंचे। इस पूरी कवायद के दौरान एक टर्म का बार बार जिक्र हो रहा है, ऑपरेशन वंदे भारत, जिसमें बताया जा रहा है कि कैसे केंद्र सरकार दुनिया भर में फैले भारतीयों को वापस लाने की कोशिश कर रही है। इसका एक लेग पूरा हो चुका है, दूसरा लेग शुरू होने वाला है। इन सब के दौरान बार बार जिक्र होता है 1990 के ऑपरेशन एयरलिफ्ट का, जब 1.5 लाख से भी ज्यादा भारतीयों को कुवैत से खाड़ी युद्ध के चलते वापस लाया गया था। आज की बातचीत में हमारे मेहमान हैं केपी उन्नीकृष्णन, बहुत ही सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट, जिनसे मैं घंटों बहुत सारे पॉलिटिकल किस्से सुन सकता हूं, क्योंकि केपी उन्नीकृष्णन साहब 1971 में पहली दफा पार्लियामेंट पहुंच गए थे। ये वही साल था जब इंदिरा गांधी ने गरीबी हटाओ का नारा दिया था कांग्रेस से अलग होकर। केपी उन्नीकृष्णन कांग्रेस आई, यानी कि कांग्रेस इंदिरा के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट थे। बाद में कांग्रेस उर्स में गए और फिर कांग्रेस सोशलिस्ट के मेंबर रहे। 1971 से 1996 तक लगातार मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट रहे केरला से। और इस बातचीत का जो सिरा है वो उनसे इसलिए जाकर जुड़ता है क्योंकि 1989 में वीपी सिंह की जब गवर्नमेंट आती है, नेशनल फ्रंट की गवर्नमेंट, उसमें केपी उन्नीकृष्णन मिनिस्टर होते हैं, और ऑपरेशन एयरलिफ्ट के दौरान जब कुवैत के में फंसे भारतीयों को वापस लाया जाता है, तब वो उस पूरे मसले में जुड़े होते हैं मिनिस्टर इंचार्ज के तौर पर, वीपी सिंह की कैबिनेट के तौर पर। सर, सबसे पहले तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग विद अस।
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, tell me, what kind of pressure was there during the Gulf War? Because I'm sure there wasn't no social media and the media hype wasn't that great. So how people were trying to reach out to you and the ministry?
Well, that's an interesting question. There was no hype, media hype. There was only some kind of pressures from journalistic circles,
Okay.
and also from some from political pressures.
Yeah.
Not otherwise, and this seemed to be working well. It did work well for a while.
Okay. So was there any opposition, because the government didn't charge any money from the people whom we were bringing back to the country? So was there some discussion about the budgetary allocations?
Oh, plenty. I must say, I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on anyone, but a good number of bureaucrats were opposed to it. They wanted money to be charged, and their excuse was that government was in a bad shape, as always, financial terms. So naturally we should charge. We should charge at least the minimum. I was totally opposed to it. In the sense, I felt a good number, if not a large number, of people who were victims of the present situation and had to be transported back to the safety of their homes, who would require some help, and help in financial terms. And it would be very unfair on the part of the government tried to. So it was very much the same type of pressures, same type of looking at things in a purely from a financial angle.
And what will be your advice to Narendra Modi government? Because there are lots of people who are reaching out to us and they are saying we are students, we are stuck abroad, and the kind of amount the government is charging is more than the usual fare. So you think this is financially viable, apart from the compassionate view of things? is it financially viable to bring back all the Indians without any cost? Because now they are in various countries. It's not just a matter of one country.
In a situation like this, you don't look at viability, because this is a situation where things have to be done. It has to be done from the angle of society, larger social problems and larger social needs. It has to be done, and government has to come forward to do it. It's not a question of just viability.
Mr. Unnikrishnan, there's this very interesting, and few commentators say a very superficial debate as well, where they say it's passport versus ration card. People who have passport are getting all the due attention from the government. They are being evacuated. Flights are being managed for them. They are getting preferential treatment, while the downtrodden, the poor people, the ration card people, they are walking for miles and miles on their own, and no government, be it state government, be it central government, is paying attention to their problems.
Well, I wouldn't say this is wholly true, but maybe a large amount of truth in it. It is true that naturally the people with passports will get preferential treatment. People with ration cards are down below in the scale of attention, and naturally they wouldn't get much attention. So there may be certain truth in it, but maybe not the whole truth.
All right, sir. When you were trying to evacuate Indians from Kuwait, I've been told, I've read it as well, that you met Saddam Hussein. How was it? Can you give us a few details about that meeting?
Well, first of all, I don't know where I met him, because it was
Was it some
largely
undisclosed location, sir?
absolutely, and my attempt in a very subtle manner to find out even the place failed. Neither our people from our diplomatic representation side nor them would say anything about it, and where we were and who were the people around, except that I knew that it was Saddam Hussein, and we had to put in our request as effectively as possible, which I presume I was able to do to some extent, and get a yes from him for moving out our people.
All right. And how was his response? Was he sympathetic towards Indians' issues, or was he trying to bargain hard during that tough time? Because it was a very tough time for him as a dictator, because he was involved in the Gulf War. He was one of the main players.
Well, I must tell you, my impression about him is totally different. I don't consider him to be a kind of dictator. I mean, that is not my impression. On the contrary, he was a very humble, humane person, trying to be sympathetic to the needs of the people, average person in the street, and therefore I did not accept the view that he was a person who was trying to impose his view. And I must tell you one thing, he was very sympathetic to India, to the Indian cause, and he was not at all, in no way was he sort of communal or a pro-Islamic kind of time. He did try to help. It's try to understand, which is more from our point of view, and our need, considering the large number of persons who are involved and a considerable number of persons and the present difficulties.
And what happened, sir, once you met Saddam Hussein? The task was half done, I believe.
Oh, it was not even half. The problem was that we first wanted to bring them through ships. The Americans opposed and few other Middle Eastern powers opposed. And so we had to step in and say, all right, now we will use our own planes. There was a problem. We had an inquiry. Our government of VP Singh had started an inquiry about purchase of aircrafts by Rajiv Gandhi's government, the earlier government. And they had decided, we had decided to not to allow any of those planes to fly. Or so naturally nothing was available. So I had to, with the help of some of my friends, but bring it to the notice of the government, the cabinet, and to fight hard battle to see that all those flights were brought back. All the planes were brought back. And that is how it was ultimately brought back. And from Amman in Jordan, we could fly to Dubai, and from Dubai to Bombay. That is how we managed these trips. It was I must say, it was a great experience. It was a good experience. And it did help us to bring more than 170,000 people, of which nearly 100,000 or slightly less were from Kerala, others from different parts of India, like UP, like Delhi, Goa, and so on.
Sir, there is lots of talk about the Kerala model, how Kerala is combating the COVID-19 pandemic. What's your take on that? How are things in Kerala, sir?
Well, I don't know about Kerala model, but Kerala has so far tried to do well. Kerala has a better understanding of the Kerala's politicians, have a slightly better understanding of the needs of the poor. I'm not quite sure that they are the only people, but what I'm saying is slightly better understanding. So that creates a better atmosphere. And for all such decision-making processes.
Sir, I'll drift from the core issue and I'm tempted to ask a couple of political questions which are related to your legacy. Exactly what happened between you, your bloc, and AK Antony in the beginning of 1980 and 81?
Well, Anthony, Mr. Anthony, who remains a very good dear friend of mine, we could not get along on the same wavelength. He thought Congress as it stood was still very important, Well, as far as I am concerned, well, I thought and I knew that it was important, but I thought that they should also come to terms with us. For example, one of the reasons why I stayed back with the left elements was the same thing, that I didn't want to bargain with them. But at the same time, I wanted a very clear understanding of where they stood. I wouldn't want anyone to, those who went along with BJP or RSS or similar elements, or to strengthen them in any way. And I thought Congress was important in those terms, that Congress needs to be strengthened, but Congress must also understand that there is a large section of people who are very clear in their minds about their attitude to these elements.
This is very surprising, sir, because at that point of time, the party you belong in, Congress Secular, it used to be headed by Sharad Pawar, who rejoined Congress during Rajiv Gandhi's regime, and then in 1999 he made his own party. PC Chako, another key player of that tussle, is now a prominent Congress leader, and same with A.K. Antony. Finally, he became the chief minister.
Who?
A.K. Antony.
Yeah, he was chief minister more than once.
Yes. Recently, you met your old friend Aarif Mohammad Khan, Honorable Governor of Kerala. How was it?
Oh, he's an old friend of mine, in Parliament outside, then in VP Singh's government. And he was very kind to call on me in my home in Calicut, Kozhikode. And I was also very delighted to see him and his wife.
And he is always in news in Kerala, sir. What's your take on that?
Yes, I find him, I wouldn't like to comment on his views, but I find him quite a bit in interesting bits of news and comments of various kinds, which of course I sometimes find it interesting, sometimes find it surprising, but interesting though.
All right. So my last question is that when you became member of parliament for the first time in 1971, Indira Gandhi was there, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Bhupesh Gupta, I mean all the stalwarts were there in the parliament. And when you left it in 1996, I mean from Indira Gandhi to Morarji Bhai, Chaudhry Charan Singh, Indira again, Rajiv, VP, Chandrasekhar and Narasimha Rao, the spectrum changed completely. When you became member of parliament, PV Narasimha Rao was a politician from Andhra, Telangana area trying to maintain his hold on power. And when you left parliament, he had completed 5 years as prime minister. What kind of change you see in the current political spectrum?
Well, the present spectrum is slightly less in content and less in weight, but all the more, and I must say, many of them are good politicians. For example, the PV Narasimha Rao, I would anyhow rate him as a very good politician, even though he may not be as a great one like, say, many of his predecessors. And even Manmohan Singh, his ability and his understanding of issues are certainly great, no doubt about it. But maybe he may be lacking in certain aspects of the game. So it's difficult to compare.
What about Rajiv, Indira, Atal Bihari Vajpayee?
Well, I have always considered Atal Bihari Vajpayee as an outstanding parliamentarian and a man of great understanding. Of course, there's no need to say anything about Indira Gandhi. And as far as Rajiv is concerned, poor chap, he had to strike his note before he was taken away.
Sir, last two questions. One, exactly what happened between Devraj Urs and Indira Gandhi? Why another split when Congress was trying really hard to hold its fort? I mean, there was one when Jagjeevan Ram left Congress right after the announcement of elections in Jan 1977. But then it was Devraj Urs, people say it was the South cell which protected the political interest of Indira Gandhi. Then what happened between them? Why another split?
I wouldn't say there was Indira Rajiv Gandhi and Devraj has always had great regard and respect for Indira Gandhi. As someone who had often tried to get between these two great towering giants, I had often felt that Indira Gandhi didn't quite understand the mind of Devraj, and he needed greater understanding. But maybe she was a bit reluctant to compromise. Maybe there were far too many people who were on the opposite side of Devraj in Karnataka politics.
All right. My last question, sir. You are in Kerala, you're a veteran politician, now you're not in active politics, it indicates now you're more the scholar side of life. BJP is trying really hard to make inroads in Kerala. How do you look at the prospects?
Well, BJP has some limited support, a support base, maybe possibly based on some caste base, but otherwise is based on caste and a base which is on totally communal basis. Otherwise, I don't think it has any much of a chance between the left and the Congress. Congress has a sound, solid base. Also CPM and CPI, the left. In between for BJP to come up may be difficult as was shown last time when Congress won 19 out of 20 parliament seats. Even BJP couldn't say that it was an easy walkover.
But sir, similar things used to be said in the context of West Bengal as well, but now they are the main opponent. They have completely dethroned the left front and now they are challenging TMC. Similar things used to be said about Tripura as well. Now they are ruling Tripura. And as far as I am aware of BJP's political plan, the grand plan, they are very clear about it that sooner or later they have to make inroads in Kerala as well. They keep reciting Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay, one of the president of Jansangh, BJP's earlier avatar, where in Calicut conclave, he laid a roadmap for the progress of the party and progress of the nation. So they feel that there is this emotional connect as well with Kerala.
Well, this is what they say. They talk about the religious base of BJP in Kerala. They talk about the number of pilgrimage centers, various other temples, various other religious shrines that Kerala has, and try to look to say that all this means that it will one day help BJP and RSS to come to power. But I must say I may be wrong, but I am proved to be right in many cases, as far as Kerala political positions are concerned. I think I'll prove to be right in this term also. I don't think BJP has much of a chance.
Mr. Unnikrishnan, similar kind of allegations used to be leveled against you people and Congress and left, that there's this church lobby which tries to force its candidates. There are various caste equations, then there are other mutt lobbies, and they try to regulate who will contest from where. And I mean, the news reports of 80s are flooded with these kind of reports, how the various religious and caste lobbies used to work as a pressure block.
Well, I wouldn't say that you are absolutely wrong. There have been occasions when these lobbies have tried to exercise some strong influence, but often failed, but sometimes also succeeded. I wouldn't say that you are absolutely wrong, but that is not the only condition on which Congress has succeeded. Congress has a mass base. Please don't forget about it. Also CPM and CPI.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. It was insightful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Saurabh.
Thank you.